All right, hey there, a virtual wrestling community and YouTube. This is the Worldwide Wrestling Network once again, and today we are going to kind of break down something we've been meaning to break down for a long time, as since about Jesus August, and this is the um, Worldwide Wrestling Network attribute calculator. And this is based off of essentially taking what the game already gives us as far as the description of what a powerhouse is and a uh, showman is and a lucha libre wrestler is, and taking it to a degree that it is usable for custom characters. So what we're going to do is first, I'm going to introduce the second voice of the Worldwide Wrestling Network, Mr. Hamrick here. I am also FH, and I want you guys to know that the character that we're going to be working on is Gorilla Von Cruz. This is one of our roster members who has just recently signed with us and wasn't really sure about how to utilize the calculator. And so I asked him, hey, can we use your character as a proof of concept and to explain why we do certain things the way that we do? So I'm going to load up Gorilla Von Cruz's moveset, and while that's happening, I am going to take us to the calculator here. So, guys, right below us, you'll see the bbgengine.com/WWWN. This is our attribute calculator. Now, in the calculator, if you scroll down just a little bit, we have got our descriptions of each type of wrestling that the calculator gives. Okay? From the American Showboat Sports Entertainment to the Junior, which is the strong style, focused on Peruso and Independence, to Lucha Libre, to Giants, to Extreme, to a vicious technical fighter like Minoru Suzuki, to a mysterious wrestler like the Great Muta, and to a shooter, high flyer, catch wrestling, submission, all of the above. And
to add a little bit to that, we have tried our best to cover every style that could feasibly be covered in the confines of the WWE game and the engine that they are currently running.
yes,
If they make changes to that engine in the future, then we will try to adjust accordingly.
so Gorilla Von Cruz from the Worldwide Wrestling Network application, and with discussions with him, he is primarily a power wrestler, okay, utilizing strength. Now, let's go look at the power description in the game. To crush, destroy as quickly as possible with brutal maneuvers, okay? Now, that means that the arm power, the leg power, the grappling, and the running power are going to be really, 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 really strong. But they're going to sacrifice some durability and some stamina in order to be able to be that powerful. Okay? Now, he also wanted to have a small background as a technical wrestler. Okay? This will balance out a little bit of the power, give him back a little bit of stamina, but he's still primarily going to be a powerful dude with some technical ability. Okay?
He's basically going to be a guy that has to get the match over quickly, because the longer it goes, the worse off he is going to be from a durability standpoint.
Durability and stamina. And
Yes.
then the last thing, and this is just for us, if Gorilla doesn't like it, we'll go back and fix it with just power and technician. Based on the character's personality that I have seen from other interactions in other federations that he's been a part of, I'm going to throw in the American style. The American style is the typical sports entertainment style, much like Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, etc. Okay? Basically, the 80s American wrestling style. Okay?
And even going into a guy like The Rock.
Or John Cena. Okay?
Yes.
Now, so what do we have where what we do is since he's going to be a mid-carder, we're going to set him at the mid-card level. Now we have a minimum and a maximum here, okay? So, what you have to do is really decide, okay, look at your moveset. What are the things that I want my character to be really good at? And what are the things that I want my character to not be good at? I'm going to start at the max, okay? And we're going to calculate. And what we're going to get first, everything up here in this category deals with strikes. Arm power, leg power, foreign object, strike reversal. Everything here deals with grapple power. Grapple offense, grapple reversal. Everything here deals with a strength attribute. Strength, running offense, environmental offense, power submission defense. Everything here, and there's a few more, from head to pin escape, deals with your character's durability. Okay? Everything here deals in your wrestler's technical ability. Okay? Everything here, agility to springboard offense, deals in how well your character does high flying action. Everything here deals with speed. And everything here deals in momentum. Now, we kept the mic skill just because there are some people who use the mic skill, some people who don't. In the Worldwide Wrestling Network, what do we do with the mic skill, Gary?
Pretty much don't use it.
Don't use it.
I'm not going to say drop it to 30, which is the bottom, but it is the first thing points should be taken away from and added on to if
Yes.
need be.
And I always recommend don't drop it to 30. You can. That is perfectly acceptable. But
especially if you're going for a mid-card or an opener.
Yes. But we always recommend at least do the minimum. Okay? But it's your character and your points. We're not going to force anybody with any real arbitrary rules over the overall. So, let's get started and let's start breaking this down. And so,
one thing we want to address real quick: the elephant in the room. Either round up or round down the decimals. The reason the decimals are there is simply math.
Math, averages, yes. Now, guys, here's the other thing. One of the things that you have to do in keeping with the moveset is you've got to really understand where your offense is coming from. Okay? So let's take a look at Gorilla's moveset real quick. Okay? He's got mostly punches that are coming from arm power. Okay? Alright,
swap screens.
Oh, sorry. Damn it. Thank you. Alright, let's look at that again. Wah, wah, wah. Where is my fail when I need it? Let's see.
I know, right?
Okay, so let's take a look at Gorilla's. Let's take a look at Gorilla's moves. He's got, and I'm not going to go through his moveset piece by piece, but I just want to show some examples. So he has got mostly punches. Okay, mostly things that give arm power. He's got one kick. Okay.
There's.
Nope,
Yeah,
one. Okay. Now let's take a look at his strong strikes. Okay. He's got the spinning heel kick, and that's leg power. Then he's got arm power, and then he's got arm power. This has got leg power, and this has got arm power. Now, based on the law of averages, we would definitely want to at least have his arm power maxed using the maximum number, because we are seeing that he is using a lot of arm strikes. Okay? Now, let's take a look at running offense. That's running offense is coming from. The Scottish Sickle is coming from arm power. Okay? So, now, you can balance this. You could do like we have here on the maximum, 62 for arm power, 62 for leg power, and that would be balanced, okay? But if you want your character to get the most out of their punches and use those leg strikes as kind of surprises, you're going to want to minimize the leg power, okay? But what
or at least make it less
lower, yeah,
lower than the arm power.
Right. Now, then we're into the foreign object. Now, if Gorilla Von Cruz is kind of a hardcore wrestler, or kind of a guy who would use a foreign object, then by all means, max out that 62 strike offense. Okay, with the foreign object.
If you're going to be in the brass knuckles tournament, then that would be a good temporary boost for your character.
But if you're not a hardcore wrestler and you want those points elsewhere, like in certain durabilities or in pin escapes, whatnot, then minimize it. Okay, don't use the minimum. And don't worry about the max on that. So here's what I'm going to do with the Gorilla Von Cruz. So I am going to max out his and his arm power at 62. Okay. Now he has a kicking finishing maneuver that uses leg power. Because he is using kicks and he has a finisher that uses leg power, I am also going to max out his leg power simply to get the most bang for his buck. Okay?
Sorry, Matt, Nick Jackson.
So, now we're going to scroll down, and with the foreign object, we are going to actually go in and we're going to minimize that. Okay? Foreign object is going to be at the minimum of 44. Okay? And then, so what his stats will look like so far is this. Arm power 62, leg power 62, foreign object 44. Okay? Now, let's go to grapples. And strike reversal. Because he appears to be a fairly strike-heavy dude, we're going to max him at 62. Okay? We may add some to that later, but right now we're going to stick with the max. Okay? The goal is to get that overall of 74. Now, Gorilla Von Cruz uses a lot of grapples. And a lot of his fight comes from his grapple offense, so we're going to max him at the recommended max of 83, and we're going to do the grapple reversal at 83 as well. Strength, because he wants to be a powerhouse, we are going to boost his strength up to 73. And actually, we're going to round up and do that at 74. Okay? We're going to do his running offense at 74 because powerhouses use their body as a weapon to tank through people. And we're going to minimize and we're going to up the environmental offense to 74 because that is a powerhouse trait as well, to throw people into objects using the force of their body. Okay? Now, this is where people start asking questions. Okay? What do I do about submissions? Okay? So, here's the deal.
One.
We recommend you to pick one, okay, and specialize, okay? Be a power submissionist or be a technical submissionist.
And the biggest reason that is said is, generally speaking, do not find a lot of guys in the business who mix and match the two.
Right.
If you see someone who is proclaiming themselves a submission artist, odds are they are specializing in technical submissions.
Right. Now,
you have a powerhouse like Chris Masters, he did one power submission.
Right.
That was his shtick, his gimmick. He didn't do a lot of technical submissions.
Right. Now, Gorilla Von Cruz, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the submission defense because honestly, defense goes into your durability. How long is your dude going to last? So we're going to put his power submission defense at 73, but because he isn't using a submission finisher, and particularly not a submission power submission, we're going to minimize his submission power submission attribute, and we're going to drop him down to 53, okay? That is still a really effective, we're going to do 54 on that. That's still a really effective submission stat, okay? Because usually once you cross the threshold into 60, you are getting to the point where you're a submission specialist, FYI. And then we're going to...
And that number can be debated a little bit.
It can be.
I was thinking it was more cross the threshold of 65 or 70. You're saying 60.
Right.
Either way, you're still talking 54, 55 isn't effective enough for somebody who doesn't specialize in submissions.
Right. All right. Now, our durabilities. So, a lot of people are going to look at these durabilities and roll their eyes and go, this cat's going to get killed. Well, he's a mid-carder, okay? He's a mid-carder in our division. Yeah, if he's going to get up against only overalls of 90s, yeah, he's probably going to have a hard time. But if he's going up against 82s and 66s and other 74s, then he's got a chance to really pull off some really exciting wins. So we're going to max out his head and his body durability at 62. We're going to round up and give him that extra half point, okay? Now, what about the arm and leg durability, okay? So, Gary, tell us what we say about the arm and leg durability.
Generally speaking, and the minute we say this, people are going to change it, but present time, the amount of people who do arm and leg finishers are vastly outnumbered by the people who do head and neck finishers.
Right, and that's just because some of the head and neck finishers are
they're easier to wear down those body parts.
Yeah.
Now, if you are going to choose between the arm and leg for a higher durability, choose the arm, because you still do have a significant amount of arm-related submissions.
Yes, arm bars, cross arm bars, Fujiwara arm bars,
Disarmers.
Disarmers. Now, the durability that we're going to do for damage recovery, we're going to put that at 62. And for, where's Pin Escape? Pin Escape's down here. We're going to do Pin Escape at 62 as well. And that covers our durabilities. Okay? Now we're getting into the technical defense and offense. So let me make sure I am on. Okay, now, since Gorilla is not going to be a submission aficionado, we are going to drop his technical submission. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Thinking about this wrong. We want everybody to have the opportunity to break out of submissions. Okay, so we are going to boost his submission defense to 71, but his technical submission offense is only going to be 44. Okay.
Now I've got a question, and this is related to what we're working on.
Yep.
Between submission, between power and technical.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree 51. Or disagree? Would you agree or disagree that more people use technical submission moves in their cause than power?
Yes, I would say that simply because some of the more popular maneuvers are the technical maneuvers.
Exactly.
A lot of folks...
And that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know if you had noticed.
Yeah. And guys, I misspoke. We're putting Gorilla at 51 in his technical submission because I just looked at something wrong. Okay? Now, we're going to reversals. Reversal, he is going to be at 56. And reversal offense, 56. Okay? Now, we've already done the strike reversal, already done grapple reversal, and so we are going down to the agilities here. Actually, what the heck am I doing? I should have maxed those. We're going to go back and we're going to max those reversals. Okay?
Performance anxiety?
No, just me not flipping back and forth like I should. So, max is going to be 76 on offense and reversal offense. Now, so aerial reversal. Aerial reversal, we are dropping to, going to keep it the max at 64. Then we're going to find, because these are spread out a little bit, aerial offense, we're going to do 64. Okay, aerial range, we're going to do 64. Now, I will always say that anyone who goes to the top rope should use the maximum range, whether or not they use the maximum aerial offense. Okay? Now, there's one thing that I gotta go check. Does Gorilla use springboard? No, he does not. Let's go check and see if he uses diving. He does. Okay? So, we are going to go back to the attributes, and we are going to minimize his springboard. Let's see. Let me find it. And I'm going to change this to the actual game real quick so people can see. So we're going to minimize the springboard to, I think it's in the 40s, but I'm going to run the calculator just to check. Springboard. We're going to drop this. We're going to up this to 45. And we're probably going to drop the aerial offense since he's not a guy that's, because he's a power dude, he's probably not going to use an awful lot of aerial offense, so it's not going to be 100% effective all the time, but we're going to give him the benefit of the range regardless, okay? That way, he's not falling on his face, okay? Now, movement. So let's see. Movement speed.
One thing I will say on range is that actually just
You're breaking up.
I don't know why.
Okay.
It would apply to middle rope. It less so than the range applies less to middle rope than it does to top rope and springboard.
Right.
So just as a side note.
So we're going to max out his movement and grapple speeds here. And since he's not a technical guy, exactly, more relies on power, we're going to minimize the chain wrestling ability and the chain wrestling speed. So we're going to bring this up to 50 and the chain wrestling speed up to 50. And then we need to focus on stamina. And we're going to max the stamina, and we're going to see where we're at. And then what we need to take away... Wait, I missed agility. Agility 45. Okay. Now, we're up on stamina. We're going to max it. And then we're going to see what level overall Gorilla Ground Cruise is at. And then kind of decide from there what we need to do differently. Okay, so the stamina recommendation at maximum is 74. So we're going to do 74, 74, and momentum 74. Okay, accept and save. Now, you notice that the overall is at 78. Okay, so we're going to back up, and I'm going to take us to the WWE management so that we can see the overall issue a little bit easier. And we're going to take a look at the stuff that we might need to edit in order to get him down to the 74 overall. So, good attributes. First thing is we're going to keep mic performance here. Okay? Then we're going to take into the fact that he does not do any springboard offense. We're going to drop this back down to 30. Okay? Then we are going to have to think about the character. Does he use a lot of environmental offense? If not, then let's drop the environmental offense down to 53. Okay? And let's see where we're at. We're still at 78. So, what do we need to nerf a little bit? So, what we probably should take away from, let's see, are the things that the character really wouldn't be good at. Okay? So, my recommendation is if this guy is a powerhouse, then maybe in character he's going to get blown up a little bit more easily. He's going to try to get the match done over more easily. So I'm going to drop the stamina recovery to 55. That puts us at 77. Now, let's take a look at some other things that we might need to get off and around. So, let's drop reversal to 56. That's got us to 76. Now, the question then becomes, what should be the other thing that we sacrifice and still try to stay in character. Now,
I personally, and we touched on this a bit ago, I would still say if he's that big of a guy, he's not going to have the range as a smaller guy.
well, yeah, that would be an interesting perspective. Let's see what it does.
I mean, Vader, I'm thinking of a guy like Big Van Vader. He did a moonsault as a finisher, but you didn't see Vader doing that moonsault all the way across the ring.
Right.
So
let's drop this to 45 and see where we're at. Still at 76. So let's go in, and we don't want to sacrifice any of the damage recoveries or the durabilities. But where we can take away from is probably movement speed. We can slow him down a little bit. And that would match with what he had originally a little bit, dropping down to 50. And that's got him at 76. And let's play with this a little bit more. If he's moving a little bit slowly, we can take down the running offense just a hair. And because I spoke to him and he said that he's mostly a grapple-based guy, that would make sense, and that's putting us at 75. And then, honestly, in my opinion, I would drop his leg power. And there he is. 74 overall. Now, a lot of things come into play, and there's one thing that I want to speak on very briefly regarding our theory of personality traits. Okay? If it's not over 50, it doesn't mean squat. Okay? Basically, if your personality trait of anything isn't over 50, it's not going to have a big impact on the character's behavior in match.
now that can vary. But
It does.
varies rarely.
And so, the recommendation for, in my opinion, and Gary may differ, and he is fully capable of offering his 2 cents in just a second. Pick a stat that you want the primary in, set that at 90, okay? Then go from there, 90, 80, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you don't want that trait apparent at all, nerf it. Take it down to 1, okay? That makes it a whole hell of a lot easier for the AI to make decisions regarding what your character is going to do.
And something that I have noticed from my actual experimenting with this, not putting anything on a stat will actually benefit the other stats
Yes.
on personality.
Yes.
So, for example, I've got a character who I set their aggression, I think I set it either 85 or 90. I didn't set anything on their, I think it was respectful, disrespectful, and their top one. Fully egotistical. And when you see the matches that we've had with this character, without fail, because of particularly the disrespectful and the no, it was prideful egotistical. It was you see the aggressive and the disrespectful, their 2 primary traits, and bold
Right.
come in a whole lot more drastically in those matches.
Right. Now,
Um,
so we don't have a match yet with Gorilla as proof of concept yet, because we're going to be working with Gorilla about with the attributes, probably talking with them a little bit more in the coming weeks.
in the coming weeks.
But we do have, and we want to, in the last few minutes of this match, we don't want to go past 40 minutes on this video, but in the next few minutes, we want to address a match that we had between basically two teams of all 74 level characters. Pulling this up right now, and this is up there in the corner. This was from 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Melee, and this is the Boondogs versus a guest tag team, the Empire of Pain, created by K2 King. K2 basically said, start us off in the mid card, and these are the attributes, and elevate, and also said, I trust you with the attributes, this is how they work, okay?
Yes.
We had the same thing happen with the Boondogs, or the Boondock Bulldogs. Their creator, Naragi, said, we want them to work like the old-style Moondogs. We've got the moveset, you make them act that way. And so, just looking at this match, these are all 74 mid-carders, okay? And we are not going to watch this whole match because it was almost 20 minutes long, but
it was 20-something minutes and it ended
in a draw, okay? So, if you want to go back and look at that, it is Monday Night Melee Week 11, okay? And to watch the whole match in full. And this is the legit proof of concept, okay? These guys are reversing each other like they were in the high 90s, going back and forth, and it's a testament not only to the movesets of how these guys were made, but it's a testament to how the attributes work, okay? And so, we are legitimately attempting to use the system that the WWE 2K developers have given us from My Career Mode, and we're expanding that out into how do we utilize this idea, this concept into Call to make our characters work realistically under the best conditions. And that's what we're trying to do with all of these different attributes. And it is a constant up and down kind of, in order to do this correctly, you have to make certain decisions about and be true to that character. You have to understand what drives the character and how would he work in a match.
And the biggest thing, and this is springboarding, no pun intended,
yeah,
off of what you just said. When you are putting together your move set, pay attention to what types of moves you're doing, and to what body part they're working over.
Yes.
If you've got a head or a neck finisher, you don't want grapples that are going to be arm and leg
and body
throughout your moveset.
Now,
yeah, I mean,
and one last thing, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. We got this from Osiris. He has a character named Frank Gage in TCW and other promotions.
Yes.
Osiris has been really helpful with helping us understand certain things about the game that we had an idea about, but we didn't completely understand. And we want to make sure that this is out for everybody, because it's something that I think that's important, not only in competitive EFED, but also in story-based gaming. So let's go and take a look at Gorilla's strong grapples here, okay? Not changing anything. If you'll look, you'll see a little deal that says move modifier. That says high, okay? On the multiple power bombs. That means that he has got this move in the correct place, okay? This should only be a strong grapple, okay?
Yes.
Alright, now, in the secondary place, he's got the Beal throw, okay? Now, You see the move modifier? It says medium. So he's got this in the right place. Bill throw should only be on the medium grapples or the high grapples. Okay? Anything...
Basically, you don't put a move modifier medium or high on face lock.
Right. Okay? Don't put a high modifier on medium grapples.
Exactly.
Okay?
And the reason for this is, and we're gonna tell people the reason here, but this is, we're not saying this arbitrarily. What those modifiers do is burn up extra stamina.
Yep.
So that means if you put the modifiers throughout that move set, even on front face lock, you are going to basically blow yourself up, no pun intended, or run out of stamina. Burn all three levels of your stamina bar before you're 3 minutes into the match.
Well, not necessarily, but pretty close. Well, especially if you're putting high modifiers in the front face grapple and medium grapple.
And I don't know that many high modifiers are available in front face lock, but I know there's at least one.
Yeah, there's at least one, and so, guys, that's just something to be aware of when you're building your moveset. It's also one of the reasons why you don't spam finishers in your moveset.
Exactly.
Not only is it goofy and childish, okay, that you're doing the Stone Cold Stunner and the Rock Bottom and the Curb Stomp and God knows what else all on the same character, but it also means that you are eating up your stamina, and if you might be able to pull those moves off, but somebody with more stamina and a little more durability will be able to whoop your ass.
And here's the other thing that people are apparently misinformed about. Just because you have a finisher on Strong Grapple does not mean that move is going to do more damage.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Basically, putting a Stone Cold Stunner on your Strong Grapple is actually going to be doing less damage than having the Stone Stunner as a finisher.
Yes, because
finishers and signatures get a damage boost.
Yes.
Strong Grapples do not get a damage boost. Those modifiers are not damage related, they are stamina related.
Yes.
Please understand that.
Yeah. Now, without that, we are almost at the 45-minute mark. This was a little bit longer than we wanted it to be. We hope that you made it through it, but we appreciate if you do. If you have any questions, let us know. And going back, please, if you are interested in the calculator, the website is right there. We would be happy to help individuals work with stats, especially if they are a part of our roster. Even if you're not a part of our roster, please.
And we're going to put that link in the information section.
Yes.
So you'll have it as well. And
even if you're not a part of our roster, dudes, feel free to use the calculator at least to give you a starting point. Because, I know in competitive EFED, there are a lot of people who automatically nerf certain stats because they feel they're useless, okay? And I get that. But if you want your character to not only be competitive, but also be realistic, our place is a good place to start, okay? And that's all I can really say. We try to be as open with everything that we do as possible. And we thank you guys for your time. Thank you for checking us out. And on behalf of the Worldwide Wrestling Network, I am Failed Hero 85. He is G Hamrick 75. And in the words of Lord Cyrus of Moldavia,
stay safe
and stay over.